Located in Newburyport, Massachusetts, the Newburyport Custom House was constructed in 1835 by Robert Mills. Mills was a well-known and experienced architect who also designed the New Bedford and New London custom houses, which greatly resemble the one of Newburyport. He was named the Architect of Public Buildings under Andrew Jackson. Due to his political connections, Mills was chosen to design a number of different buildings. He designed the Washington Monument and the U.S. Treasury Building as pictured on the back of the $10 bill. His trademarks were vaulted ceilings and granite staircases, which can still be seen today inside the Custom House. The Custom House brings us inside the world of Newburyport by educating the common man about the outside world during the mid-19th century and the downfall of Newburyport's economy. As the 19th century unfolded in Newburyport, the economy came to rely on the movement of goods and trade on the ocean. As a result, communities that had easy access to water and were geographically appealing as a seaport had an enormous advantage in terms of developing a thriving economy. Newburyport was one such city. Sited near the mouth of the Merrimack River, the city was a perfect location for not only shipbuilding, but also a commercial seaport. At its peak, Newburyport was one of the most vibrant seaports on the East Coast. It was for this reason that Newburyport was selected as a city in which to build one of the U.S. government custom houses. In addition to its prime location on the Merrimack River, a number of factors contributed to the development of Newburyport as a thriving trade port, active economy, and home to a number of wealthy merchants. Perhaps the greatest factor was the magnitude of the city's shipbuilding industry. To have a thriving economy, seamen must have the latest shipbuilding technology in order to import crucial trading goods. Lumber and fish were top exports, while sugar and molasses were top imports. As a result of this, Newburyport was able to make a name as a prospering seaport. Over time, it became one of the most bustling trade ports in all of Essex County. Affluent shipbuilding in Newburyport allowed for the establishment of a strong navy in the U.S. A custom house was an active location wherein not only could the movement of goods be analyzed and measured, but also acted as an important meeting place. The custom house was held to collect taxes on imported goods, recorded every vessel entering and leaving the port, issued seaman identification certificates, and forbid entry of ships carrying possible contagious disease. The staff also did cargo inventories of each ship, which included weighing, measuring, testing, and inspecting. The Custom House also helped to facilitate growing overseas trade and collected taxes on imported goods. This location was a huge part of financing in Newburyport. Often the funds generated by the Custom House were a top source of funding for the federal government. Due to the importance of the Custom House and the documents it housed, it was crucial to protect it from disaster. In 1811, there had been a terrible fire in Newburyport. Because of the fire, Mills was instructed to make the building fireproof. This consisted of masonry exterior, interior partitions, and floors and ceilings on all levels. It was crucial to protect the silver and gold currency and tariff payments that needed to be in safekeeping. Not only was the Custom House an economic hub in Newburyport, but it also served as a bustling social spot. Local men and women gathered to find out world news or keep up with the latest fashions. It was the only way for them to gain access to the outside world and ultimately learn about trade and other countries' economies. The Custom House became a focal point for local businesses because of its important functions. Important economic jobs pertaining to Newburyport's Custom House included the collector, who was in charge of the entire customs operation, the deputy collector, who received the actual tariffs, the naval officer, surveyor, inspector, and boatman. All were very important jobs in assuring that things at the Custom House ran smoothly and dealing with economic issues like incoming and outgoing vessels and taxing. In 1911, the Custom House closed for business. As Newburyport declined as a seaport, the Custom House took on new roles, such as a storage of submarine parts and manufacturing heels for women's shoes. From 1922 to 1936, the building was owned by the Custom Shoe Heel Company. Nowadays, the Custom House serves as a maritime museum, and work is done to preserve and restore the building. It serves as a way to interpret life in Essex County in the 1800s.